Okay, everyone, it's Rachel, your lovely Rachel Britton here. Just kidding. Um, Today is day 16 of Holiday Hopes and Dreams. And I thought, well, I've been coming up with some more topics that I think would be helpful as we continue to navigate the holiday season. So I'm going to open this up here quick. There we go. Okay, so that I can see if anyone comments. So let me know if you're joining by saying hi, or put a comment in down below. I would love to see as people join and jump on. But today I really wanted to focus on when life gives you lemons, how you can make lemonade. So I know that that's a saying that I usually get wrong. I usually flip it around and say it backwards, but I thought this was a really interesting idea for this whole idea of how we get through these holidays, pandemic style, and really just kind of figure out how we can make the best of this time right now. So I know a lot of people are struggling with different areas, anxiety, depression, being isolated, not being able to see loved ones. And the other day I was working with a client, and they were telling me how they have all of these goals for 2021, and 2021 is going to be a new year. It's going to be amazing. They're going to make it. And then they stopped and they were like, but I'm already starting, because 2021, there's no button that once the clock strikes 12, all of a sudden I'm going to change everything. And my client was like, you know what? I realized this past week that in order for me to make change for myself in 2021, I got to start now. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is a perfect topic for Holiday Hopes and Dreams, because my client was completely right? We always have these ideas of 2021, what are we going to make change? How are we going to do it? Well, why wait? I mean, we really can make the next moment in our life better by making different choices. Now, granted, when I say better, it doesn't mean that it's like everything will change, right? Like, oh, I'm going to switch my mindset in this next second and everything is going to be better. Like, if I lost my job, I'm also going to have a job now. No, like, it doesn't work that way. But when we start thinking about more like that forward thinking of what do I want versus how I'm stuck in the here and now, it allows us to make movement, and it allows us to reach more of our goals and more of our dreams. Because in reality, it's all about changing our habits, and it's hard just to change our habits right away. So we have to slowly get into changing those habits. So I thought it would be great just to kind of talk about this and how you can start thinking about different goals that you might be having for 2021. So I would highly recommend even just kind of thinking like, what do I want to achieve in 2021? And one way to do that is kind of think about, what are my values? What's really important to me? Like, sometimes that's where we have to start first. What's really important to me? Well, family is really important to me. Being around people is important to me. My health is important to me. You know, like, think about what are some of those values that are really important to me. Like, maybe faith is important, or who knows, whatever it is that you feel is important to you. Kind of just think about those values. And then once you have the values, sorry, I have a group chat that is just popping up here. Once you have those once you have those values, then come up with some goals. Okay. So if I had a value of, like, say I were to lose my job during the pandemic, and my value is being financially stable. One thing that a goal would probably, or the goal would be financial stability and potentially finding a job or a way to support you, right? And then once we have that goal in mind, what we want to look at are, what are some smaller steps to achieve that goal, right? So it's not that you have to achieve that goal tomorrow, but it's more of like, how do I start breaking it down? I think that a lot of times when we think about these big goals, or like even coming to 2021, where we start having like this ambition of changing our life or changing what's going on, we have these really big goals and then we start working on it. And after, a couple weeks, we start teetering off of those goals because they're really big. And when things are big, they feel very anxiety provoking. And so one way to decrease that anxiety, one way to essentially achieve that goal more effectively or more successfully, is to break it down in more achievable goals. So what would that look like? What would be the first step that you need to take in order to be financially free, right? Would it be like reaching out to someone to help you create a resume? Would it be just like opening up the computer and looking at options? Or would it be that you have to kind of look in a different direction for a job, right? So, kind of looking outside the box and start breaking it down. The great thing about creating goals is sometimes sometimes it can be helpful just to get ideas from other people or sit down and start creating these smaller steps, especially if it's feeling overwhelming, like this big goal. Like sit down with a friend or a loved one and be like, all right, let's break this down. How can I achieve this goal in the long term with short-term goals? So that is a really big thing. I think a lot of times, again, 2021, we have all of this like motivation. It's a new year. Let's have new change. But let's think about, like, we're in a pandemic right now. How is January 1st going to be different from December 31st, right? So we get this choice to start working on our goals and what we want to move forward today, tomorrow. And so, like, start breaking it down, look at those goals, but start thinking of like, what do I need to achieve those goals in 2021? And how can I start prepping myself for that? So like one example might be, if I want to be successful academically, right? And I find that I get really overwhelmed with my academics. Maybe I create a space in my house where I can like do all my academic stuff, right? And so, or maybe it's just like cleaning my space and having a chaotic free space, maybe that's step one that you can do right now so that you can be more successful in 2021. Maybe if it's health, it's figuring out like, okay, let's start creating a health plan right now so that in 2021, instead of starting fresh that day, I start today, right? Or I'm not trying to backpedal and, all of those holiday treats. Now I'm trying to lose those pounds from the holiday, whatever, holiday 15 or whatever it is, right? And I'm really mindful. And so, before January 1st, I learned about mindfulness and I learned about mindful eating and what that would look like. Like I look up online mindful eating, or I go on and look on YouTube and learn more about what would mindfulness be. And just creating and gathering different tools to help you be successful when 2021 comes. Or if you don't want to wait until then, when tomorrow comes, right? Because again, January 1st does not change it. It's just a lot of times people start like to start fresh on the new year. But why not start fresh December 9th, December 10th? We can start fresh whenever we want. And so if you are finding that this holiday season has been really challenging and you're kind of stuck, I would challenge you to start looking at, okay, how can I make December fresh? How can I make lemonade out of lemons? See, did I say that? How to make lemons out of lemons. I think I wrote it backwards. I always get that wrong. How to make lemonade out of lemons, right? We have different choices, right? And so start thinking about what are some of those goals that you have for yourself, and start breaking it into smaller, achievable goals. Achievable is important. If you set a goal too high too soon, you're less likely going to achieve it. It doesn't mean you'll never achieve it. It just means it's going to be harder and you're more likely to quit because you set it too high. It's okay to set achievable goals, okay? So start making those lists, start thinking about what do you want different right now, and start thinking about how you can make those changes. Use a loved one for support if you need, but you get to decide how you use this time, okay? So I hope all of you have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for day 17 because I have no idea what topics it's going to be. If you have any ideas, let me know. But I look forward to sharing some more ideas for how to manage the holidays during this lovely pandemic.